Thank you for listening to BizPod with me, Paul.
And me, Rachel.
Our weekly business English podcast where we talk about the news, social media, and hot topics from a business point of view. You'll get a podcast and links to the articles we discuss. This way you can share your thoughts too. Join us as we discuss what's on our minds this week. So Rachel, we are now in the era of Trump 2.0.
2.0.
Yeah, what do you think?
The new improved. Bigger, bolder, bionic.
I looked, we didn't watch the whole of the inauguration of Trump for his second term, but we saw some of it on the news. And he's certainly bigger and bolder, would you say? Or just as arrogant?
More orangier.
Yeah. You actually said you think you thought he looked a little bit older.
He did look
well.
old. He did look, not older, old. He looked old. He looked frail.
Yeah. But nowhere near as old as Joe Biden. Joe Biden kind of looks like some sort of, I don't know, I don't mean any disrespect, but he looks like a bit like a doddering idiot when he walks, doesn't he?
He doesn't look fully compos mentis.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can all agree Trump is compos mentis.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, is he crazy as well?
I don't know. Only time will tell. I mean, let's have just a little review of some of the things he's done within like the first 48 hours of his second presidency.
Well, I liked I think sort of just after the inauguration, he went to sort of some centre. And he had the desk on a stage and he was signing executive orders in front of the audience.
With a marker pen, did you see?
Yeah, and the audience was cheering as he signed an executive order. And I mean, it's a great publicity stunt, but it's not presidential.
It doesn't sort of demand your respect, does it?
Not really, no. It's a stunt. It's a publicity stunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a charade.
Yeah.
It's, well, anyway, he's cancelled refugee travel to the US after suspending the admissions program. He has put all US government diversity staff on paid leave immedately.
Yeah.
He's done 1,600 pardons to people for the Capitol riots.
And another one, something to do with a dark web market creator, the guy who created the Silk Road dark web platform.
Yeah. Ross Ulbricht. Not heard of him. He got a full pardon.
Yeah. I mean, I can't understand why. I mean, I know what part of his election promise was to pardon all of those people convicted of rioting, was it on the January the 6th, whatever the date was. But some of them were involved in quite serious crimes and violence. Yeah. There was an interview with a police officer who said he was beaten, you know, he was tasered. There was someone that struck him with an iron bar. And, you know, those people do deserve a punishment. But Trump has just said, go free.
He got found guilty of 34 counts and got no repercussions from that whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's unfair that the 1,600 people at the Capitol riots got some kind of repercussions. But I agree with you, you know, there's violence that shouldn't be excused there.
No, there's no way you should be able to excuse that violence.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I mean, I'm not making a comparison. I'm just going to use the comparison just to sort of, you know, show. But in the 1930s and 1940s in Germany, you know, Hitler's sort of, you know, followers used similar tactics of intimidation and violence. I mean, I'm not saying Trump is Hitler or anything like that, but there's so many parallels with
stirring up
regimes.
A frenzy, isn't he?
Yeah,
in people.
You know,
yeah.
you could see sort of parallels, or you know, with Stalin's Russia, Chairman Mao's China.
No, you're making sweeping. What about Greenland? Come on. I mean, I said to you, I think he will get Greenland.
You did, yeah. Do you think he'll get Canada and the Panama Canal as well?
No. Although Panama, when we looked into the history of Panama, it was quite surprising that up until about 30-35 years ago,
Yeah.
America had Panama anyway.
They had the canal,
Yeah.
not Panama. Yeah.
Yeah, now the Panamanians have it.
Yeah.
So whether they give it back is another thing.
I think actually it was 1999
Yeah.
when the Americans
the
left
final,
and handed over
that's
control
what we
to the
heard,
Panamanians.
wasn't it? But Greenland, I mean, I've heard that Denmark wants to sell. I would hate to be somebody who lives in Greenland.
Well, yeah, I mean, but Greenland, I mean, we're looking at a page on the BBC News website, and there's an article there, "The Enormous Challenge of Mining Greenland."
Yeah.
I mean, Greenland, I think, is strategic in its position between the United States and Russia.
But apparently there are riches beneath the soil to be dug, to be mined.
But it's frozen, so it's not like you're just mining in a normal place. It's frozen. And I don't know how difficult or how easy or
No, we're
how...
not mining experts, are we?
No, but it's going to be a challenge.
But what about the migrants? That's my concern. Because you know what we went through with Brexit. And we didn't think it was going to be... We thought it was going to be, a flash in a pan kind of thing. And it just went on and on and on. And we landed up having to get new residency documents, new this, new that.
Yeah.
New that. And there's all these new exemptions and rules and whatever that are just for us. What about the Mexican migrants? They're in despair over this Trump border restriction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got to consider, there's a couple of things to consider. A lot of them are illegal migrants. They are not documented. They've entered the country illegally. And I don't think any country wants illegal immigrants.
Yeah. I mean, are they contributing? Are they contributing to society? I mean, there was a video of a woman on the BBC who she said she'd been in America for 25 years. And I was like, well, if you've been in a country for 25 years, why haven't you become a resident? What has stopped you?
I think the fact that it's very, very difficult to become a legal resident.
Yeah.
And as soon as you raise your hand and point out that you're living there, if they say, no, you can't stay here,
then you've got to go.
Then you've got to go.
Yeah.
But are they contributing to society? I think even Trump has said in the past, and this is not a new thing, that let's say if there are, let's say, 1 million illegal immigrants in California, the majority of them are working and doing the jobs that
Americans don't want to do.
Like picking the avocados and like that. So without those illegal immigrants, the price of your avocado on toast is going to skyrocket.
No. Thank goodness I'm growing some avocado trees.
Yeah. They haven't fruited yet, though.
No, not yet. Not yet. So, what do you think about? I mean, he has signed to come out of the Paris Climate Agreement. He's signed to come out of the WHO. I had a conversation with a student today who was concerned that he was going to sign to come out of the WTO as well.
Right.
What do you think?
I don't know. You've got to admit it's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's watchable. I wouldn't say it's interesting. It's alarming.
It's alarming.
I mean,
that's probably a better
some of the
word.
things I do agree with. I mean, even if he just signs to come out, just to provoke them to get their act in order and restructure themselves, so he signs to get back in. It's sort of shock and awe.
Yeah.
It's a way to get people to make amendments and changes that need to be changed.
Okay. Like with NATO, I mean, he's threatened to withdraw from NATO.
Well, there was the whole thing before, wasn't there, the previous presidency, where he was saying about people weren't paying the 3%, countries weren't paying, governments weren't paying 3% of GDP, which was what they'd promised. Yeah. And he was like, well, I'm not going to pay it. America's not going to pay it. And as soon as they realised that was basically the majority of the money, all the other countries that hadn't been paying the 3% coughed up the 3%.
I don't think all of them did, but a lot of them did.
Yeah, which made a difference. And he was right on that. If you have an agreement that you all pay 3%, you all
pay
pay
3%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't pay admission to the golf club and say, I'm only going to pay half of it. I'll pay half
I don't
know.
Maybe we should try it. Next time we go to a restaurant, we'll order like loads and loads of food, but we'll say,
share.
yeah, but
we'll just say we're going to pay half.
Yeah, we shared all the food, so we're only paying half the bill. Let's see how that goes down at the local pizzeria. We'll be banned for life.
Yeah, probably.
Well, interesting times
Yeah.
is what I think about Trump 2.0.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, alarming, it was your word, to watch the first time he was president. He was in the news every day.
I got sick to death of hearing Trump this, Trump that. It was nice when he got kicked out, but it was actually silence for a while, you know.
But he's back, you know.
He's back.
For every day for at least the next 4 years, it's going to be Trump, Trump, Trump.
Or Trump, Musk, Trump, Musk, Trump, Musk.
Oh, God. Musk and his Hitler salute.
God, what an idiot.
Yeah.
Is it a rule? The more money you have, the more of an idiot you become?
Let's try and find out by becoming very, very, very rich.
If only.
Yeah. See how much of an idiot we become when we're billionaires.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, welcome to Trump
2.0. Yeah.
Yeah, the new era is upon us.
Yeah.
Let's see if we survive until the end of his 4-year term.
Yeah. So maybe I'll see you next week, Paul. Maybe I won't.
Who knows?
Who knows? Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. We hope you liked our podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us. Until next time, goodbye.